Welcome to First Friday. On behalf of the Independence Chamber of Commerce in the City of Independence, we're glad you got up extra early today to join us here. We're all in the Civic Center, as you all well know, but we're also putting First Friday on Facebook Live, and then it will be uploaded to YouTube later on, so we can get that information out to everyone. Before we hear from our four great speakers that are appropriately distanced up here at the head table, we are going to hear a few words from our business sponsor this morning, Skank Insurance. So as our business sponsor, Skank Insurance paid for the great breakfast, as always provided by Annie Mays. So all of you in the audience are enjoying the warm muffins and the fresh fruit and the always good hot coffee. Thanks to the donation from Skank Insurance. They've also provided everyone who is in attendance this morning with some packets of information and some really nice pens that I've already put to use this morning. So at this time, would you please welcome the owner and agent of Skank Insurance, Charles Skank.
Thank you, Lisa. It's good to be with you this morning. It's good to see you. It's good to see clients in the room that are with us today, and that's always a privilege. My name is Charles Skank. This is my dad, Gary, and he started the business in 1978. He's been doing this for a long time. I joined him about 8 years ago, and we also have Sherry Hesse, Angie Caldwell, and our marketing director, Brandon Miller, with us today. So what do we do? Well, if you go back to your first day on your first job, your first real job, you go to the office and there's an HR person there that is signing you up, that is putting your packet together, that is signing you up for health insurance, for dental insurance, for 401k, all those good things, and is answering all your questions. And then throughout the rest of your working life, that HR person is there helping you review your plans, add children, life events, maybe you get married, all those things happen. And then the last day of your working life, the last day on the job, that HR person is there helping you exit the workplace. And they give you a exit package that has all of your information, and you step out into retirement and there's no one there. There's no HR person there anymore. And you're going to live the rest of your life in retirement not knowing what to do, because you still need health insurance, you still need income, you still need dental coverage, you still need all those things, but now you don't have anybody to really guide you there. Well, as you can see on the table, some of those things say your next HR person. And that's where we come in. That's where we help people, and that's where we can help your employees. So is to be that next HR person to help with decisions about Medicare, life insurance, income, dental, different things like that. That's what we specialize in. So I want to thank you for being with us today. Thank you for listening to me. Have a great day, and enjoy the long weekend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So First Friday is a free event that we always get together once a month. It feels like these months just blow by, but we always get together once a month, gather together so that we can hear from great speakers, get really good information about things that are happening in our community, activities, programming, and all the opportunities that Independence has to offer. So with that, I'm going to go over a few things that are on your calendar. So Madison's put together a great calendar. Flip that program over. And I know everyone listening on Facebook is saying we don't have a program, so I'm going to go over a few highlights, but I also want to remind everyone that you can see all the flyers on our website. They're on a scroll. You will see all of them that I'm talking about. You will see them on our Facebook page, either as events or as informational posts that we're putting out there. And we do a WhatsApp and the Independence Daily Reporter on a weekly basis. They will also be publishing our calendar in their newspaper, so you can get it there. And then the calendar will also be in a PDF form on our website, and you can download it as well. So let's talk about what's happening in the community. So I do want to back up and go. Last weekend, our young professionals had their third annual night golf tournament. It was a huge success. They had 37 teams that played 9 holes of golf, started around 8 o'clock. And if you're between the ages of 21 and 40-ish, we want you to join YPI. They have a lot of really good activities going on. They're a very engaged group. It's an important component of our community, especially when we are recruiting young professionals. And we also are going to be having a shout out at the end from the board chair for young professionals, and he will be giving you some information on their next project that they are putting in place from some of the proceeds that they raised at Night Golf. We also will be having movie night in the park. I want to mention that we had movie night in the park last weekend, and it went very well. So we moved it to the park from downtown on purpose so that we would be able to gather in a grassy space, adequately social distance, be out in the open air, and enjoy a movie under the stars. Typically, we like to have it in downtown on purpose because we always have lots of great activities in the park, but we want to generate equal activities in the downtown area. So hopefully when we are past a pandemic, we'll be able to move it back downtown in Independence. But for now, we are going to have it in the park one more time at the end of the month, so you can save the date for September 26th. And again, you're going to hear a shout out about that. The museum is having an artist exhibit the 5th through the 19th, so check that out. Recycling is going to be tomorrow from 8 to noon. We always do recycling every first Saturday from 8 to noon. We also do it every Tuesday from 11 to 1, and every Tuesday from 11 to 1, and every Thursday from 8 to 2. You can also drop off furniture, bulky items, large debris, and all that junk you want to get rid of, furniture. The sanitation yard takes that in on those dates. And again, there's a flyer on the table. It's also posted on our website if you need more information about that. What I will say is I need a volunteer or two for recycling tomorrow. So if you are interested in helping, it's from 8 to noon. It's tons of fun. We've all probably done it many times, but I'm needing a volunteer or two tomorrow. So see me after First Friday or call the chamber office at 331-1890. The Lions Club will be sponsoring recycling in October, and they will be out helping and volunteering and giving their time, and so then I will need volunteers for November and December. But more importantly, I need 2 for tomorrow morning. Also, you'll see some snacks in front of me right here. You're going to be hearing from one of our speakers. She's going to be giving information about sirens and snacks. So keep that in the forefront of your minds and be mindful of that. You'll also see that we have some snacks already over here at the tables that, again, our speaker will be talking about. U.S. Congressman Dr. Roger Marshall will be having a meet and greet at Annie Mae's from 1 to 1:30 this afternoon. And Mr. Virgil Peck, who is running uncontested for State Senate, will also be joining him. So there's a flyer about Dr. Roger Marshall on the table, and know that that is going to be this afternoon from 1 to 1:30 at Annie Mae's. Also, we're going to be hearing a shout out from Dr. Larry Markevich. He's going to be telling us all about some musical entertainment coming to us on Labor Day. So I want to make sure you're listening to him during shout outs. And then also, speaking of Labor Day, I want to let you know, I got to get my cheat sheet to make sure I don't miss this. The VFW Post 1186 is going to be providing rides home for people who are maybe needing rides home on Labor Day weekend, Friday evening and Saturday evening from 8 to 2. So if you might need a safe ride home, call 926-0796, or you can call the chamber office and we'll give you that number again. But they are offering that service this Labor Day weekend. Pride at Astro will be starting next week, September 8th through the 12th. You can go on their Facebook page, get lots of information. The community is invited to Lori Kelly's retirement at Equity Bank next Friday from 11 to 1. She is retiring. She's been in that facility for, I think, 32 years. Her wonderful husband, Dr. Greg Kelly, is also retiring from his dentistry practice after 33 years, so we congratulate both of them. They came to Independence as young professionals. They're still young professionals, but we wish them well in their retirement. The Can-Okla 100-mile highway sale is coming up, so today is the last day to get your permit at City Hall. It's totally free, but you have to get your permit at City Hall. Even if you're outside the city limits, it's the only way we're going to be able to capture your address to put together the calendar so that everyone knows when they come to our community all about the great sales that we have in Independence. So the Can-Okla 100-mile highway sale is in its 13th year. We usually have over 100 sales in Independence. People come from all over the United States, actually, to travel the Oklahoma and Kansas map and the highway stretch. So be sure and get your permit by today to guarantee your spot on the map. If you don't get your permit today, you might be able to squeak in, but no promises. The Optimist Club is having a pancake breakfast on Saturday, September 12th. That's next week. We're going to have a shout out about that, so keep your finger there. And the EAA is going, that's experimental aircraft. They are going to be having a fly-in, and that's going to be next Saturday from 8 to noon. They will have experimental aircraft, antique airplanes, some meet and greets with the pilots, and lots of fun things are going on out there. So if you want more information, call 332-9264 and take the kiddos out to the airport to enjoy the EAA fly-in. Check out Yana Julian's Facebook page. That is the Yana Julian Fun Run. They're doing a virtual fun run next weekend. And I was checking out the page last night. So go on there and get more information about how you can run during the fun run on your own because of the pandemic. Snap some pictures and be able to post that to the Facebook page so we can still participate in Yana's fun run in memory of her. We have some ribbon cuttings coming up. Premier Worksite Solutions will be on the 16th and Indie Barber Shop on the 18th. Both of them are going to be at 5:30. You can find the addresses and such on our Facebook page and on our website, and they are young professionals. So we are excited about that. We encourage you to come and help support them. Just be a part of it. Show up at 5:30. It takes about 10 minutes, and just be there to congratulate them and show them that our community supports our young professionals. Home football is going to be starting September the 18th. Actually, they play this weekend, no, the 11th, tonight, is that right? In Fort Scott? No? El Dorado, okay. El Dorado, then next weekend it's Fort Scott, then next weekend it's Fort Scott here. Thank you. And kickoff is at 7 o'clock, and we're excited to see those Bulldogs start out their season. And speaking of the Bulldogs, they're looking for membership to the Booster Club. So memberships are $50 for family memberships, all the way up to Big Dog memberships for $150. You can call the high school and get more information, and we have flyers on the table for that. There's a poker run on the 19th, so mark your calendar for that. That's also on our Facebook page. And glow-in-the-dark golf is coming up on September the 25th. Little House is open. The Park and Zoo is open. The library has lots of programming. Check that out. Main Street's receipt program is still going on. 42 people have turned in receipts, and they have given out, well, let me tell you this. They have $1,500 to still give out, and I think they had $5,000 to start with. So Tabitha reported in that over $43,000 have been turned in receipts so far. So way to go, way to shop local, and make sure that you're turning in your receipts to Tabitha. For every $50 you spend in downtown at a Main Street member, you get $10 back, and you get to spend that in downtown. So it just keeps regenerating itself. We also will have a shout out about the Growing Rural Business Entrepreneurial Certificate Program that you'll find on your calendar. Remember to fill out your census. If you need an Indy 150 t-shirt, come to the chamber office. We'll get you fixed up. And now it's time to start. Are you ready? Okay. We got really good speakers this morning. They're going to give you lots of really good information. I know all of you are very interested to hear from our superintendent of schools about how the school year is going so far. I have a sister and a daughter who are school teachers. They're working lots of hours. They're crazy tired, but they're hanging in there. I tell them both, just take one day at a time, and we're all going to make it through this. So would you please welcome our superintendent of schools, Rusty Arnold.
Good morning, everyone. I want to take this opportunity to thank Skank Insurance for sponsoring today and allowing me to come up here, and Lisa for inviting me to come up here and share with you. I know there's a lot of questions out there, and I'll try to answer all I can. I'll stay around after and answer. But to get started, I think the biggest thing that's going on in education right now is uncertainty. We just don't know what tomorrow will bring, and that's what Lisa just said, take it day by day, and that's kind of what we're doing in education. If you think about it, we've started, when we look at our numbers this year, we're down 136 kids, and we have no idea where they're at. We've called their homes, we've called around looking for them, we're just not finding them. So we went from about 2150 head count last year to we're about 2,000 this year. And it really concerns me that those kids aren't in school, and we've got we started with around 418 that were doing what we call remote learning, which is the online learning. That has dropped now to under 300. I think as parents see the commitment that they have to have at home and the time that kids have to spend on a computer. With our online, they have to spend 6 hours on there. And so a lot of them are going, I can't keep them on there that long and engaged. And I understand that. So a lot of them are starting to come back, which I believe is a good thing. We really want the kids in school if they can be in school. But the whole school year is really full of uncertainty and fear. A lot of the teachers are nervous every day that they might get it, because if you look at the data right now and the research, a lot of the kids are asymptomatic. They never even know they have it. And so what we're finding is a lot of the teachers are concerned. When we look at who's went out and got tested, it's primarily our adult workers, our teachers. We've had up to 7 on quarantine or getting tested up to this point. Very few kids, less than 7. And so you think about the number of kids compared to the number of adults. Fortunately, we've now only had 1 adult that has, and that was a bus driver. It wasn't even an instructor at this point. So there's a lot of fear and uncertainty out there, and so what we've tried to do is talk with our teachers and tell them, you need to remain flexible. Things are going to change daily. We got notification Tuesday morning. The federal government's now offering free lunches to everyone. So all of our kids through December will get free lunches. That just came out of nowhere. And so we're finding out things, people are understanding that there's a lot of social and emotional issues that are following this COVID because of the uncertainty, because of the fear you might get it. So one of the things that we did a year ago for our teachers and our staff was we enrolled in an employee assistance program, and it's through Greenbush, and we were one of the pilot schools that started this. And basically what our teachers can do is call a hotline. They can talk to a psychologist through the hotline. They can talk with a financial advisor. They can talk with attorneys. And so our instructors, with all this fear and uncertainty, there's things going on in their lives too, along with the rest of our staff. And so we felt like it was important last year that we became part of that pilot program. And we get a monthly usage, and it is being used by our teachers. So that confirms that there's a lot of uncertainty and fear out there amongst our staff and our students. And if you talk with Ford County, and Kathy and I were talking just before we started today, and they're busy out there. There's a lot going on when people are afraid and uncertain of what the future might bring. So we've started that. What we started for the kids was what we call our care teams. If we have a student that hasn't been in school for a couple days, or they haven't been on remote learning, then our care team will basically go find out what's going on right now. On that care team, we have 2 school-to-home coordinators that are on those care teams. Our counselors are part of those care teams, and our administrators. So we are out there trying to find, if we have students that all of a sudden began disengaging from school, we're going out there and we're trying to find them and find out what's going on, what we can do to help. And we have found tremendous support throughout our community in helping our kids. Right now we have Ford County that comes in and actually provides their services in our buildings with our kids, and that's been a tremendous asset. Once the kids are there, we can get them served and we can get them the help that they need. So there's a lot of great things happening in Independence in our educational system. We're very proud of it and what's going on. One of the things that's really concerning to us as a school district is something all of you have heard all your lives about summer slide. In the summer, kids are gone about 3 months, so they go backwards about a month. If you look at their reading level, if it says 4.2 and they're in the 4th grade, that means they're reading at the 4th grade level about 2 months ahead. So they're not 5th grade, but they're in there. So it's 4.2. And so what we see in kids is they'll lose about a month, which is about 0.2 slide in the summer. Well, you think about what we did since March. We did a different type of learning at home in the spring, and so we saw some slide there. And what we basically saw since March till we started school this year was our typical summer slide, plus in reading, the experts and data is showing that it's about a 2-month slide. So they went backwards 2 months in reading. In math, it was worse, 4 months. So you can figure a kid is down 3 to 4 months from where he was in reading and 5 to 6 from where he was in math in March. And so that's really concerning to us. So what we're doing is we're spending a lot of times on those programs. We put in programs a few years ago to help with reading and math. We're spending more time on those. The good thing is they're online, so our students that are doing the remote learning can continue to get their reading and their math at home. And so we're working very hard to meet the needs of our kids and do the things that we need to do to ensure that they get a quality education. I spoke at the Lions Club the other night. I had a great meal with those guys and really appreciated that. But one of the things that we talked about there was, now I forgot where I was going with that. Andy, what did we talk about the other night? I don't know. It'll come back to me in a minute. So I'll go to another positive thing that's happening in our schools. We just hired an orchestra teacher. We were very excited about that. And I know people don't understand the excitement over hiring one teacher out of 140, but when you have an orchestra teacher leave in late July, it was concerning to us that we would not have an orchestra program. We actually started the school without one. He actually started September the 2nd, a few days ago. He came out of Atlanta, Georgia. So it's very difficult to find teachers today, but when you talk about science teachers, orchestra teachers, they're very difficult. So we're excited that we have our orchestra position filled and we have orchestra moving forward, and it still hasn't come to me. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. If you have any questions, I'll stick around and I'll talk to you. We have a lot of great things going on in our schools. We're very excited that the kids are back. We're excited that we have football tonight. One of the things I'd caution, and everybody listening, is if you're going to go to an away game, you need to check with the school and see if you're going to be allowed to do that. When we go to El Dorado tonight, you have to have a golden ticket. That's what I'm calling them. They sent us 100 tickets, and that's it. So they're not letting everyone in. I know Chanute's limiting, Pittsburgh's limiting. They're hot spots right now for the COVID. I know Pittsburgh has it in all of their buildings, and Chanute has it in 3 of their buildings. So we know that there's certain schools that aren't going to allow too many people to come to the ball games. So if you're planning on going to any sport or activity in another community, please call the high school or the middle school, whichever it is, and see if there's a limit and if you need a ticket, because I certainly don't want you to drive over to support our kids and then find out you can't do that. One of the things we're working with is to make sure that our radio stations will be broadcasting again our varsity sports, and we're looking into possibly putting them online and trying to show them, because we know we have great support throughout Independence. They love their sports, they love their music programs, our theater programs. We just have tremendous support in our community. We don't want to lose that. And I know if people drive an hour to a ball game and find out they can't get in, they're not going to be real pleased. So please check before you take off on the road for that. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your continued support. And thank you for all you do for our kids, our school, and our community. And thank you for the opportunity, Lisa.
Thank you very much, Rusty. And we appreciate everything. I know you guys are probably having many sleepless nights trying to figure out how to handle the situation, none of us know, so we're just, again, taking it a little bit at a time. But I would encourage all of us as community citizens to just be creative in your thinking, and maybe there's something that we can do collectively, you can do individually, to extend some kindness to our teachers and to our schools. You know, whether it's just writing them a note, dropping it off with the principal so he can read it at the next staff meeting, just some extension of kindness, because I know that that would go a long way as they're trying to navigate this crazy pandemic that they are finding themselves in, and their concern over educating these kids and first and foremost keeping them safe in the classroom. Our next speaker up is going to be talking about kids and building relationship with kids, and she comes to us from the RSVP program at Fort County Mental Health. I'll let her tell you what RSVP stands for. Would you please welcome Kathy Shepard.
Good morning. RSVP is a federal grant program, and the initials stand for Retired and Senior Volunteer Program. I always tell everybody you don't have to be retired, you don't have to be a senior, you just have to be 55 years old and willing to give some time to your community. So I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about our September 11th Day of Remembrance project that we're doing. We did this project a couple years ago and it went over really well, and so we're excited to bring that back again this year. We were able to secure a small mini grant from the Kansas Volunteer Commission to help with this, and so I think it's going to be a really nice thing for our community. I brought with me a little pack. This is the idea for the program, is to put together some packs like this. If you can see, this has a picture of a first responder who actually died on 9/11. And I don't know about you, it's been 19 years. I still remember that day vividly. I was working at the college. At the time, KIND was just starting to begin with Hoyt and the different people who were taking over that. I remember it was on a music roll where it played the same songs over and over before they really got going with live programming. But I remember going to work at ICC that day, and Hoyt came in and started broadcasting and started talking about that. And it was something that we were drawn to the TV all day long, watching the events as they unfolded. And one of the things that we saw that day is the way that our country came together, and really people of all races, people of all socioeconomic status, it didn't matter. Everybody came together to try to do what they could to help our country. And so I think today that's more appropriate than maybe even in past years with everything going on in our country. What we can do together is really important. So each year, the My Good Deed organization tries to sponsor some type of activity, and you'll probably hear on the radio a group of different individuals saying, I will do, and whatever they're going to do on 9/11. And that's the idea. It's kind of like Love Independence. Just do something. It doesn't matter what you do, but give something back to your community on that day in honor of all those that lost their lives that day. So our project is called Sirens and Snacks. And the idea behind that is there's a lot of food insecurity in our communities these days. The pandemic has only increased that. And so our thought was if we could have some snack bags put together that our first responders could have with them, and then they're out in the community all the time working. They encounter kids all the time who are food insecure, or maybe they just encounter a kid who they want to try to establish a relationship with. And this is a good way to get that going. They're able to give the kid a bag of snacks, start a conversation, and hope build on that relationship. Lately, we've had so much bad going on around our law enforcement. And if you think about it, we're lucky here in Independence. Our first responders, our law enforcement, our EMTs, our firefighters, they're in our schools doing things throughout the years. And so they're working on building that relationship. But typically kids, their encounter with first responders is during an emergency. And that's not going to be a positive experience for that kid. So one of the things that we're really trying to do is help them have a positive experience with those first responders. So we feel like the Sirens and Snacks is a great way to do that. We'll pack these bags up. We'll get some volunteers together through our program, pack these bags up from what's donated, and then through the small grant we got through the Kansas Volunteer Commission, we'll purchase other items that we need to fill in. We'll get these packs ready to go. We'll deliver them to the police department, the fire department, and EMS, and then they can have these with them. We're putting items in here that won't melt, and so that way they can have them with them, and if they see a kid when they're out and about doing things, then they have something that they can give that kid, and they can share a little food, share some conversation, and help build that relationship. So that's the whole point of our program. We're going to be collecting through next Wednesday afternoon, hopefully. Thursday, we want to get these packed up, and we'll either deliver late Thursday afternoon or Friday. This is a great way for you to be able to give back, to still social distance, but make an impact on your community. So we hope you'll participate. The drop-off spots here in Independence are at the Chamber and at Community National Bank. Coffeyville is the same way. We're going to deliver these to the Independence Police Department, the fire, EMS, and same in Coffeyville. And so hopefully they have those out there that they can use them and really start building the relationships and making a difference on those impressions that the kids have of our first responders. So we hope you'll participate. Anything that you can give is great. And we'll get them out to the kids next week. So thank you.
And our office has been busy. We've had lots of donations, so many that we had to go get another tub for collection. So it's going well in our community, and we encourage everyone to continue to bring some snacks down to the office. So our third speaker this morning has been in front of us numerous times talking about economic development, programming that is available, and reporting on good news and things that are happening in our community. And we have some good news being shared by our last speaker. But Tricia Purdon is our Executive Director of the Montgomery County Action Council, and I asked her to speak this morning because as you know, there have been lots of grant programs, lots of loan programs that have been available to help all of us financially make it through the pandemic. And those have been very daunting many times. They're overwhelming, they're long, they're detailed, and we appreciate all the support that the Action Council has lended to our businesses in helping them fill those papers out. They've helped us as well. All of the financial institutions that are helping our businesses make their way through all of this. And there's a new grant for small businesses and nonprofits that will be launched next week. And it's important we get the information out, because the last thing I want somebody to say is, oh my gosh, I didn't even know about that. And so we're trying to get it out in the newspapers. We're trying to get it out on Facebook, on websites. So if you see anything pop up on your social media, be sure and share it, because that's one way that we're able to get information out to people besides the radio and the newspaper. So at this time, would you please help me welcome the Executive Director of Montgomery County Action Council as she talks to us about a grant program that might not affect you, but it might affect somebody you know. So please listen up and be able to share that information.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you again, Lisa, for letting me come and talk about the programs that we have. So what I wanted to make sure that you all understood is basically where we are in the process of getting funding from the CARES Act that has gone through the state of Kansas and has been dispersed among the counties in Kansas. So if you haven't followed this, this program in the state of Kansas is called SPARK. Spark is a fund that they divided into 3 different rounds, round 1, round 2, and round 3. And what we're going to be talking about today is Spark round 1. So what happened is the state of Kansas received just over $1 billion that they are using in Spark. That'll be divided among those 3 programs. And this first one was divided among the counties based on population and then also based on 2 other factors. One is your impact that COVID-19 has had on our community, on our economy. That really goes to the effect of on our unemployment rate. We're traditionally already one of the highest unemployed counties in the state of Kansas before COVID hit, but especially once COVID hit, we really took a hit. We're still I think we're 5th largest unemployment rate in the state of Kansas right now. And so we received more funding because of that, and then also the number of cases that we were experiencing at the time of award. So that wasn't as much, thankfully, but our unemployment really bumped us up there. So the county received just over $6.5 million. Out of that, the program that I'm going to be talking about to you today, the county pulled out $500,000, $500,000, that is going to be going to nonprofit organizations and businesses here in Montgomery County. $100,000 has already been allotted to our private schools. We know they were also hit, and so we wanted to make sure that our private schools here in Montgomery County, which there's 5, will all receive funding as well. $100,000 of that $500,000 will be designated for our nonprofit and not-for-profit organizations. And when I say that, I mean, according to the IRS, 501c3s or 501c6 organizations. Both of those types of nonprofit organizations have been left out completely of all other funding sources that have come through from the CARES Act. So we really wanted to make sure that those specifically were identified and some money was specifically set aside for those organizations. And then last will be $300,000 that's set aside for small businesses. And how that's going to be divided up, and it's going to be based on how many we actually receive, of course, but right now the county commission decided to do $2,000 per business plus $500 for every full-time employee that business has and $250 per every part-time employee that business has. Contractors will not count towards employment eligibility. So if you have an employee that gets a 1099, they are not eligible to be counted in that total. The last bit of that we're looking at are collaboration programs. And when we had the first bit of Spark Round 1 that Montgomery County dispersed that all the public entities supplied for, we had a lot of really innovative collaboration projects, including the Chambers project that was put forth. And the county commission decided that they loved those projects, but they wanted to make sure that we got more word out to communities in case any other organizations had brilliant ideas of how we could make a large impact on our communities by collaborating together and doing something that would help multiple businesses, multiple citizens around Montgomery County. So this last piece is collaboration. These will have up to $20,000, again, depending on how much funding we have, but we're hoping that some of that $300,000 and $100,000 set aside for nonprofits could be towards collaboration projects to help more than just one entity. So we're really hoping to see some really innovative ideas for that. I promised Lisa that I would get this entire thing on our website, and I got it, except for the actual application, but it'll go live by the time we get out of here today. So we finished the application, but we're having some glitches making sure you can see it, but not complete it. The reason why is because although the state of Kansas said, here's your $6.5 million, and it's sitting in the county's bank account, they also said, we cannot issue any funds of any kind until the state reviews all plans that we submitted to the state of Kansas to ensure that we're in compliance with the CARES Act regulations. So we love bureaucracy, but so it slowed it down a bit. So we want to make sure that the program that I just described to you is an approved program by the state of Kansas before I get everyone's hopes up and you start applying for these funds. So the application will be available for you to view. It's going to be in a PDF, so you can go ahead and see what you need to gather. Most importantly, basically, how has COVID impacted you? Tell me the number of employees you have, full-time, part-time, number of owners. You will have to have a DUNS number. And I know that seems odd, but because this is federal flow-through money, the federal government, any entity that receives federal funding has to have a DUNS number. I strongly encourage you to go to our website to find the correct link to get your DUNS number. We had someone that applied for their DUNS number yesterday, and they said, oh, you'll have this in 30 days. Well, that's not going to help you at all, folks. So make sure you use the fed.gov/DUNS number in order to get it. Do not go to just DUNS and Bradstreet. It'll take you 30 days. If you go through the federal program, you get it in 1 to 5 days. So if you can all get started on doing that, that would save you some time. So basically, those are the main things you're going to have. Tell me why you need this funding. We have to see that you've experienced some sort of loss, whether that be in event cancellations, or that's in you had to close your business down because of COVID-19. We saw beauty and barbershops and restaurants that had to close down. Show us that revenue loss, that you actually need this funding. If you are experiencing a revenue gain since COVID, you're not going to be eligible. So we really want to make sure that we're hitting those businesses that have experienced a loss. The last bit that I wanted to talk about was how this is going to move forward, because we know that some of this process, we received federal guidance through halfway through every program we've administered since COVID-19 has started. So we'll issue a program, and then we close the program. We say, okay, grant applications are now closed. And then about a week later, we receive federal guidance that said, oh, wait, now you need these 5 forms that all these businesses have to complete now too. So we have to reopen, go back through every single one of those businesses, and we do expect that this will probably happen again, which is why we are not opening this application until September 15th. That gives us 1 more week to make sure there's no other bugs that have been pulled through from the federal guidance. From what I gather today, there's supposed to be another round of federal guidance that comes out today on how these funds are to be spent. So that's why we're waiting another week before this opens up. I want to make sure that I have all the headaches and you all have none as much as possible. You've already gone through too much with COVID-19 happening. So we're really grateful. Montgomery County Action Council is administering these funds for Montgomery County, but we're also partnering with Yerkes and Michelle, who has decades of experience in federal audits. So they have been on top of what is an actual and eligible expense and what has not. So we're really grateful for all that support and time. The last bit that I wanted to make sure you guys are all aware is follow our website, because it seems like every few days there's a new grant program. There's a new program coming out from the state of Kansas. Round 2 funds have already started going out. They've already opened up, and some of them have already closed. They had a small business grant program and PPE grant program that closed on Monday that folks could have applied for, and we had that on our website and Facebook page and everything. There's still programs out there that are still open. Child care facility grants, those are going to be coming forward anytime now. If you have a first responder in your family, or you have a nurse or a doctor in your family, from what I understand, there's going to be another program that's coming out for that's in Spark Round 2. Mental health, there's going to be some programs coming down for mental health. For our school district, there's going to be more money coming down for our school districts. So keep an eye on those, because those are still coming out for federal, for the Spark Round 2 funding. Spark Round 3, we know nothing about yet. So unfortunately, they are waiting until this fall, I think, to see what happens, of course, around the state of Kansas and what the most intense need is around our state. So we don't know what that's going to be yet. As soon as we do, again, we'll post it on our Facebook page, we'll post it on our website, we'll share to the chambers. I'm sure they'll blast it out. So make sure you're following these organizations. Become a member of those organizations so that you can make sure you're the first on that mailing list to get information. It's really important right now to really participate with these organizations to get that information. So the last bit that I want to make sure everyone knows, if you are a lucky recipient of one of these grants, there's a huge caveat that the federal government put in the CARES Act. All the funds that you will receive must be spent and receipts turned in to me by December 30th. And I don't know why they decided to have the shortest timeline ever to have this done, but we do have to have those receipts. They can be reimbursements. So if you've already spent money since March 1st for COVID-related expenses, you can get reimbursed for those. Just submit those receipts and it goes into your general fund. You move on. But if you have a program that you're wanting to put into place between now or September 15th and December 30th, better get those funds spent quick. So that's all I have for today, but I will stick around, like Rusty said to you. If anyone has any questions or wants more information, I'm more than happy to provide more information. I know it's a lot. All of it is available on our website at actioncouncil.com. You'll see a tab for COVID-19 resources, and then Spark is the drop down. So click on Spark. Everything that I just said is on that website, including that you'll be able to see that application as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, so wrapping up our speaker lineup this morning is a female entrepreneur. I'm excited to have you hear her message this morning. I came to know her when my daughter, who teaches first grade, was lucky enough to have her son in her classroom, and that was my first introduction to Danielle West. And most recently, my conversations with Danielle have been all about her excitement around opening up a new children's boutique in downtown Independence. And we're really excited about that for many reasons, many obvious reasons. But we're so lucky and so fortunate. And sometimes I think we take things for granted in our community. We think that every rural community or every rural Kansas community has everything that Independence has, and it is just not the truth. We have a very, very vibrant downtown, and our town is vibrant because we and those in the surrounding area and those far beyond come to Independence to be able to shop and eat and enjoy all that we have. And we're really excited about the fact that we are going to have a children's boutique in downtown Independence. We know that's going to be a huge draw. And so at this time, would you please welcome Danielle West as she talks to us about her new store, Bows and Britches.
Oh, my logo's up on the wall over there. That's the preliminary. I'm Danielle West, as Lisa said, and thank you all for being here today. And Lisa, thanks for inviting me to be here. So I'll just kind of introduce myself first, tell you a little bit about me. I am not an Independence native. I have been in Independence almost 3 years now. And I'm a wife, and I'm a mom of 3 kiddos. I have a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old. Those are both boys, and then our sweet little princess, Lainey, and she's 2. Lainey, when she came along, it became ruffles and bows and, glitter and all that fun stuff. Not so much glitter. Dad doesn't like the glitter, but it never goes away. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Anyway, so when we came to Independence, I was actually pregnant with Lainey, and we came here from just north of San Antonio, Texas. So, of course, where we were at, we did have everything at our fingertips. It was, very easy to, and this was during the days that Babies R Us was still open and everything else. But we lived in a small town, and it was thriving. They had really done a lot with their downtown area to revamp it and bring it back to life. And when we came here, I saw that happening here as well. And it was exciting for me, but my mom job came first, so I've been focused on being mom. And now it's time for me to give back and be involved. So with being here, I did see a need for children's clothes and maternity clothes. I struggled with that when we moved here and I was pregnant. I couldn't find maternity clothes, and baby stuff. It wasn't as easy. So anyway, I met some really great friends here in the community, and we got to talking about different ideas and what they're wanting to do, and they're business owners, and I started throwing some ideas out there too. Well, I've always had kind of that entrepreneurial mind. I've always wanted to own my own business, and I've always had these ideas, all over the place ideas, from not just boutiques, but just all over. So when I've always thought about ideas, I've always thought, well, I don't even know how to get started. Like, where do you even begin? Well, when I started kind of digging for information on how to start, or I was researching online or whatever, well, the first thing it always says is you have to have a business plan. That business plan is going to be your very first step, because you have to take that to the bank. The bank doesn't want to talk to you if you don't have a business plan. So I was like, okay, well, who do I know that I could, that has a lot of connections here? Well, so I messaged Lisa, and I just, I was like, she'll probably have a recommendation of someone I could reach out to that could kind of just guide me, someone at the bank or whatever. So I asked her, do you know anyone who I could talk to about, thinking about opening a small business? She was like, well, yeah. She's like, when can you talk? And so we talked very shortly after. I mean, it was literally like maybe the next day. And we talked on the phone. I shared my ideas about what I'd like to do with the children's boutique, and trying to kind of pull in some maybe even children activities, or having a party space for kids, a book nook area for kids. Like all these ideas are flowing, and we're tossing ideas back and forth. It wasn't long after that she formed a team especially for me, like with what my ideas were and where I was at with my ideas and my plan. She knew who to contact to bring them all together and collaborate with me. And we sat in this room. I was really nervous at first, and she was like, "Don't worry about it," But it was amazing. Like, I have never known any other community that does something like this, but I also haven't, it's not like I went searching for it either. But I want you guys to know that if you know anyone that is interested in opening a small business, that Independence has an amazing support group and team that will help you and guide you through the whole process. We collaborated and talked and threw ideas back and forth, and all of the people that sat here with me and talked to me are entrepreneurs, business owners, and they are a part of the community as well, and they knew different avenues that I could take to get a logo done or a website done, or anything like that. Just connections everywhere, okay? And for someone who's here from out of town, I was very grateful, very grateful. So anyway, we collaborated, and then it was maybe less than a week later, Trisha and I got together, and Trisha is like amazing. She helped me put my business plan together. We sat, and it took us an hour maybe. And I mean, the first meeting took about an hour. It didn't take an hour to do my whole business plan, I promise. It took a little bit longer and a lot of homework. But anyway, so we worked, and she was amazing. With as busy as she has been with grants and everything else on her plate, she really, really was just awesome with helping me. Because here I was clueless. I was clueless. I'm a mom, and I have the great ideas, but I didn't have I didn't know what to do from there. So anyway, from there it was to the bank, and here we are. So I am excited to introduce that I'm going to be opening Bows and Britches Boutique. We are going to be opening in the vacant space at Annie Mae's. I'm very excited to collaborate with Tom and Terry. I feel like my business there will be a great complement to his Melissa and Doug toys and his other children's items that he has in his shop. And I'm also going to be carrying maternity clothes, nursing equipment, and then I will also be doing basically newborn infant to youth sizes. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited that I'm going to start bringing in some baby shower gifts, maybe some small pieces of furniture, and I feel like it's going to be great for young families here that need a place to find a cute outfit for family photos, or Christmas outfits, or first day of school outfits, anything like that. It is going to be boutique clothing, but I am very determined to make sure that it is affordable for everyone. I do not want anyone to walk in and feel like they can't afford to shop in my shop. So it will be friendly for everyone's budgets. So with that, we're also talking about possibly doing some fun events for kiddos and maybe even moms when they can get away for a night and, paint or sip and paint or, something like that. Birthday parties, fun stuff like that. So, of course, some of that is maybe a little bit further down the road, but those are ideas and plans that I do have. Once we get open, then we will be able to kind of go from there. But I think that's all I have. We have right now a tentative opening for October 9th. That will be my grand opening date, but I am going to try to do kind of a soft opening maybe that week before. October 9th is a Friday, so I'm kind of hoping maybe during that week we can kind of do some soft opening and work out kinks before we do our big grand opening on Friday and Saturday. So, did I leave anything out? Okay, all right. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, so Danielle needs our help. So if you need a gift, a baby gift for a child, a grandchild, you know someone, or you like her Facebook page when she launches it, and you see that she has, something going on, again, please make sure that you're sharing that information, because that will be so very helpful if we can support our local businesses. So do what you can, and we're excited about October the 9th. I know it's going to be here before we know it. So we look forward to Bows and Britches Boutique. So good luck. We have some amazing shout outs. Now they know who they are. They know what order they're in. They know they have 30 seconds. April, I need your help with the microphone. If you want to grab the microphone for me. And it's over here, the stand. And if we can bring the stand over, then we won't have to hold that. We're going to put it right here, and I'm going to have Philip Feenan. Do you mind if I put you on the spot? Thank you. So originally I had Andy Taylor first. So Andy, if you guys want to come on over here and make a line, everybody knows their order. You do not want to miss these shout outs. They're so informative. But Philip, I'm going to let you go first if you would like, or I'll let you go last. You can go last, okay? So, Andy, you're up first, and we're going to do 30-second shout-outs from the mic, and then we'll wrap it all up.
There we are. Okay. Real quick, doing a quick scan of the audience here. About 70% of you wear eyeglasses, and that is pretty much the norm across the country. That is not the norm across the world. 70% of the world's population does not have direct access to optometry or ophthalmological care. And that's where the Lions Club International steps in. And here in Independence, for over almost 100 years now, we've made vision care one of our key pillars. The first week of October is International Lions Sight Week, where we create awareness of what we do as an organization to help improve vision across the world. Here's where we need your help. If you have old eyeglasses sitting in your house, and I know you do because I wear eyeglasses too, please donate them to the Lions Club. At the next First Friday on October 2nd, we'll have a donation box on that table over there. Bring your old eyeglasses, deposit them, and we'll make sure they go to the appropriate places and then to be distributed across the world. Also on October 3rd, Saturday, the Lions Club will be helping with the recycling at the city Sanitation Yard will also be collecting eyewear at that event as well. We also have drop-off boxes any time of the year at Egbert's, the Independence Public Library, the Montgomery County Chronicle, and the Medicine Shop. So feel free to bring them to any of those drop-off boxes as well. If you have a church or a high-traffic area in your business where you can put one of these boxes, please see me afterwards. I'll be glad to give this to you so that you can do that as well. Again, that'd be the first week of October. 15 more quick seconds. The other project we do in Independence that you are aware of is Kittyland. This past month, we had a tremendous gift given to the Lions Club through the family of Gary Cottrell, who passed away last month. They established a memorial fund in his honor to go directly to Kittyland. I can tell you that that fund is very generous and very substantial, and it will change the trajectory and the future of Kittyland in a very, very positive way. So stay tuned to see what happens with Kittyland.
Thank you. Up next is April Nutt talking about sales tax.
Oh, if she only knew that was the only thing I was going to talk
Okay.
about. I'm breaking, whoops, I'm breaking the rule a bit. Hold on. There we go. Okay. 1, is Independence awesome? I am so flippin' excited. Danielle, thank you so much. She is going to be carrying, I love this name of the line, Ruffled Butts and Rugged Butts. How fun is that? I've got 3 grandsons. I've already told her I'm her first sale, so we're ready to go. Yes, I'm going to segue right into sales tax. Again, Independence, you are awesome. Yes, I've got my rose-colored glasses on, and I wear them every day because you are phenomenal. We just had our sales tax report that came in. This is August sales tax report, but it's actually June's sales tax report. You kicked butt. You supported our people. You're listening. You're doing it. Keep it up. It was up from last year's June, 23.1%. So you are awesome. From January to August of 2020 versus January to August of 2019, we are up a total of 6.3%. So keep it up. You're rocking it. Okay, the other thing that's big important that I'm going to talk about, census. We have until September 30th to finish this. Kansas is kicking butt. We have 91% self-report, and those are going door to door. We are 4th in the nation. Independence is behind that number. So Independence, we kick butt. We rock. So get out, get it done. Remind your neighbor, remind your friend, remind your church people. We need our census done. All right. I do have one more thing. I told you. Community Access Center. They have helped us out during this pandemic. Unbelievable. And we have had the community members who have been donating. Unbelievable. But they are currently short on peanut butter and oatmeal. So I'm going to put the chamber. Yep, I knew she would. If you have peanut butter and oatmeal and you would like to donate that for the Community Access Center, please drop it off at the chamber. Independence, you all make a difference every day. We are so flippin' lucky. I love you all. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you. Next up is Brittany Hullum from the Fab Lab.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to give a quick reminder about the Growing Rural Business Entrepreneur program that we have starting on September 10th out at the Fab Lab. It's an 8-week program that we've brought, that Wichita State is coming in to facilitate and lead. And it's geared towards small business owners and entrepreneurs, and it'll cover topics like customer service, marketing, financial, and legal issues. The first 4 sessions are out at the Fab Lab, and the second 4 are going to take place in Coffeyville at their community college because it is the Montgomery County version of this program. It's a network. It's funded by Network Kansas, and it's ran through the Wichita State Center for Entrepreneurship. So we're really fortunate to have this program coming to our communities. Enrollments Enrollment needs to get up, so if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, this class will give you some tools to put in your toolkit. If you have any questions, I'll stick around for a second. Otherwise, you can register at fablabicc.org. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. And also, if you know of somebody who would benefit from that program, share that information. So up next is my friend Mike Flood.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I am alive and I'm here. And Cruising Independence is coming up soon. What in the world is that? Well, it's an old-fashioned cruise in a car or truck or maybe even a motorcycle. So how many of you have been in a cruise in the old days when we used to cruise town? There you go. There's people out there. Now, I don't have all the answers for this because we just started this. It was an idea of mine and David Hill, and then we got Lisa involved with it. And she said, yeah, let's do that. So we're going to have a cruise, probably multiple cruises, and it's going to be announced. We might have one next week, maybe Thursday or Friday, something like that. So that's what it's all about. Cars, as a matter of fact, that's why I got this shirt on. I wear this when I cruise sometimes. And the lead car is out in the rain right now. It's right outside, and it's a 67 Malibu, and there's lots of people that got cars in their garages, and they don't get them out. So get them out and get in the cruise. I'll let the chamber know. It'll be in papers. It'll probably be on my Facebook page, Mike Flood. It's not hard to find me on Facebook. And so get out, and maybe I might even take a couple of people in the car with me. So think about that. So Cruising Independence coming soon. And one other thing, the art show is starting at the museum on Saturday, and it's a really good one. It's already set up. The museum is alive and well. See y'all.
Thank you. Welcome, Lacey. She's going to tell you all about pancakes.
Good morning. I would like to invite each and every one of you and your families out to the Optimus Annual Fundraiser. We're going to hold it Saturday, September the 12th at the Wesley Center, and we raise our funds to support the Youth of Independence. So we would really love for you to come out and do that. We will be taking all of the proper safety precautions. The donation is only $5, and you get 2 sausages and never-ending pancakes. So there's flyers over there. You're welcome to contact me or Lisa or anyone that you might know in the Optimus group, or even the chamber or our Facebook page, and we would love to get our tickets out to you. We will also have to-go containers, so while I wouldn't advise putting it in Mike's vehicle, you could pick up your pancake to go even. So we hope to see you out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is our young professional. I kind of told you he was going to be speaking.
As Lisa said, our young professionals had night golf last weekend, and it was a great success. As a result of our success, we are hosting, or sponsoring, I should say, the movie night in the park later this month, as she talked about. In addition to paying for the movie, we'll also be paying for miniature golf, the carousel, and what else am I forgetting? Train, thank you. Train, those 3 things. For the hour before the movie starts. So bring your family out, come enjoy a nice evening on September 26th.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Something fun planned for Labor Day, Dr. Larry Markevich. I can say his name correctly, too, don't I?
Good morning, everybody. 6:30 p.m. at the band shell at Riverside Park, the ICC Music Department's putting together our first ever Labor Day Spectacular. We hope you can make it out. I'm very proud that ICC, we're the only community college in the state that has a full concert band, a full jazz band, full choir that we've created through getting people from the community, local music educators, some high school students, and of course the ICC students that are the nucleus of these ensembles. Our jazz band is actually getting quite good. It's almost professional level now with the talent we have in the group. So I hope you enjoy the concert. It'll start at 6:30. It'll be done before the sun sets, so you know it'll be done by 10 minutes to 8. So we hope to see you there. And one last thing is we are starting an ICC campus orchestra, speaking of orchestra, this full, and we have our first string major at the college, so I'm trying to build another ensemble. And if anyone out there has a child that plays strings that would like to join us, please let me know. Or if any of you used to play a string instrument and you want to dust it off and play again, we'd love to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. We've got 2 more shout-outs. Welcome back, Rusty.
Thank you. This is just a real quick coming soon. 2 times a year, we have drug dogs come through the schools, and it's really important that we do that to keep drugs out of the school, and everybody knows the importance of that. You know that we're in an area where drugs are prevalent, and so we need drug dogs in the community. Montgomery County Sheriff's Department is starting a campaign soon to get a new drug dog because theirs is no longer around. A drug dog costs between $10,000 and $15,000. So coming soon will be this fundraiser, and as a school system, we need that. We support our police department, our fire departments. They're wonderful people, and if we can help them with a tool to do their job better and more effectively, I would appreciate any help you could give with that, and that'll be coming out soon. Thank you.
Thank you for that. It's good information. They came by the office yesterday as well, so we definitely will try to get them in front of all of you as a speaker. And speaking of someone else that I hopefully will get in front of you as a speaker in the future, he's here to give me a 30-second shout out as my former high school classmate and now my new neighbor. And I drive by all the time, and I don't want to step onto a construction site, so I ran into him at Annie Mae's and asked him to come give you a 30-second shout out and tell you what's happening at a place of business just south of the chamber office.
Yeah, and anybody that knows me knows that I can't say anything in 30 seconds.
Well,
so
get on it, Philip.
Lisa
Come on.
didn't know that. I am Philip Feenan. I own Impact Aviation Services, and we're kind of responsible for the big mess on the other side of AutoZone that's been going on here for the last, seems like forever, about 6 months now. We're hoping to have the business open October 1st if I can get a door. So if any of you have pull with woods, get me a door, okay? But yeah, we're slowly getting there. We've been operating out of my house for about the last year and a half, and we moved down here into the construction trailer back in March. And so we're excited to get that property cleaned up and get the fence down eventually and get it all opened up. So just keep us in your prayers because we got a lot of work to do. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate Philip coming this morning because I know people call the chamber, they come into the chamber, what's going on down the street? What's going on down the street? And not only is it a new business that we're going to be able to welcome to our community, but it's a piece of beautification for sure. So we're excited about what that will bring, and we appreciate his investment in the community as well, and making Penn Avenue more appealing than it already is. So that wraps up First Friday. I want to thank Skank Insurance again, and Gary and Charles and all the staff for your support. Be sure and take your literature with you on the tables. Thank you for the pens and all the goodies that are included in this. We appreciate your business sponsorship. And I want to remind everyone we have First Friday on October the 2nd. That will be coming up in a few short weeks. Take your community calendars with you. And remember to step up and mask up, even though I hate them. It's needed. We want to slow the spread so we can keep small businesses open in Independence, and make sure you get your flu shot. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you next month. Thank you for coming.